All right, so Black History Month. For those of you that are just joining, I use the name SIR as an acronym to represent struggle, inequality, and respect. Why do we recognize Black History Month in the US? February is Black History Month. This month-long observance in the US is a chance to celebrate Black achievement. This year, it also follows a tumultuous period where racial justice calls reached a fever pitch, providing a fresh reminder to take stock of where systematic racism persists and gives visibility to the people and organizations creating change. I also wanted to reflect on Black Canadians. Every February, people across Canada participating in Black History Month events and festivities that honor the legacy of Black Canadians and their communities. The 2022 theme for Black History Month is February and Forever, celebrating Black history today and every day, which focuses on recognizing the daily contributions that Black Canadians make to Canada. No matter where you are or where you live, we invite all Canadians to learn more about these communities and how they continue to help shape the story. And with that being said, I'm gonna jump out here and share a video that I found. And let me know if you guys can hear it.
Since the early beginnings of Canadian history, people of African descent have made significant contributions to the development of our great country. The No. 2 Construction Battalion served Canada proudly during the First World War. William Hall became the first Canadian sailor, the first Nova Scotian, and the first Black to receive the Victoria Cross.
The enemy gave up.
Mary Ann Shadd Cary was the first woman of African descent to edit a newspaper in North America. African Canadians have made their mark in music, in sports, and continue to make contributions to many aspects of Canadian life. Celebrate our proud heritage. Celebrate Black History Month.
All right. Let me jump back over. Oops. All right. So, Carter G. Woodson, he's known as the father of Black history. And I wanted to say this quote that he's put over here that I shared last year is, "Those who have no record of what their forebears have accomplished lose the inspiration which comes from the teachings of biography and history." This is really important because there's a lot of people that took steps and struggles before myself, my father, and my family before that. And it's really important to recognize these journeys and the challenges over there. And hopefully through these next slides that start to come through, you'll see that as well. This is a slide I showed about last year. Most people know about the Rosa Parks bus incidents, but actually Claudette Colvin was arrested 9 months prior to that, not giving up her bus seat as well, which kind of inspired and triggered this as well. So these are the things that we've seen over the years. And even in today, we're seeing struggles. We just had another incident in Minnesota with a shooting. So it's one of those things that as much as we take a few steps forward, we've at times taken steps back, but ultimately continually talking about this is where we will take it to the next level. And last year, I shared what is white privilege and what does that mean to me. And I brought in these images. These pictures represent a little bit over a year anniversary of on January 6, 2021, the White House was stormed by a group of people that believed the election was stolen from Donald Trump to avoid him having a second term in office. And if somebody were to come up to me today and say, "Kwame, why would you say that's white privilege?" There's a few examples that I can share, but one that would be probably resonate to everybody is in the second term of Obama, if he would have lost and people of color would have stormed the White House, I can promise you two things would have happened. One, we wouldn't have seen people of color reach this far inside the White House. And two, outside the White House, there would have been more bloodshed, and it wouldn't have been the people protecting the White House. So now I'm going to talk about a significant 100-year anniversary that overlaps with not only where my grandmother lived, but actually lived through. My grandmother was Juanita Lewis, maiden name DIXON. She was born in 1916. What was amazing is that she had a Dutch dad and her mom was African American and part Cherokee. If you think about mixed races, I believe in the US, it wasn't even recognized till somewhere between 1955 and 1965. So to have a mixed race in the early 1900s was something that was not talked about and probably hidden. Where I'm going to take us on this journey is specifically around the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. I showed this picture last year when I was talking about my family. This is a picture of my dad, my aunt, my uncles, and my grandparents. I'm really going to focus on my grandmother and my dad. As I showed over here, that's a shot of my grandmother in a cotton field with the entire family. They worked primarily through here on a daily basis to earn money, food for the family. And as I said before, my grandmother had her business degree, but in the area where she lived, no one would give her an office job. And she was overqualified than a lot of people that didn't even have their degrees. And then my dad right here at 10 years old, one of the things that I reflect knowing that I have a son that's 12 years old and a daughter that's 10, they enjoy running around playing with their kids. And here's my dad at 10 years old in a 110 degree Texas field picking cotton. And I always reflect on my kids saying, remember the life that you have and where you want to move forward with and advance. And then here's where I want to talk about America's Forgotten Massacre. As you look at this picture, you would think success, young kids in suits, in the background, majority of everybody in suits, beautiful community. But this started the destruction and somewhat the revitalization of what we call Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street is really known as the Tulsa Massacre of 1921. On May 31st, 1921, at 10:30 p.m., the first shot was fired to begin the Tulsa Race Massacre. Through June 1st, mobs of white residents attacked the black residents and businesses of the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in what's now known as one of the worst incidents of racial violence in American history. A segregated community of 10,000 African Americans and a thriving community, which is considered Black Wall Street, was destroyed through looting, fire, and violence. This is what it looked like before 10:30 p.m. And this is what it looked like at the end of the day on June 1st. At the time, if you want to reflect, and I showed in the earlier slides, this happened in 1921, and my grandmother was born on 1916. So she was roughly 5 years old and was a survivor of this. To heal, honor, and remember, which was the 100-year anniversary last year, there's a museum and multiple reminders within the city of Tulsa. And actually, Biden came out as well as other diplomats as well to honor this day with Greenwood Rising. And even though it's not going to take away what happened on May 31st, but it is a reflection for the new and the young generations to understand the fight and the struggle and to continue to persevere. And to reflect on that, from slavery to the White House, no matter what the pain, no matter what the struggle, Black Americans can understand with President Obama and with our current recent Vice President that we can grow as a nation and we can learn, because mistakes happen, there's struggles, there's racisms across all communities, but we have to get better as a community as a whole and to be able to talk that out and learn. And in summary, I'm going to share similar key points that I had last year as well, and I think they reflect and resonate. Is be proud of where you come from, be true to yourself, never forget those who led the struggle, educate and inform those that look away from what's right in front of them, and most of the time that's racism in today's world. We talk about, paying forward and always think about the future. The future are the younger generations to follow. Never quit, always fight for a better world, and you can accomplish anything if you believe in yourself. And purpose is power. Defend the truth and defeat hate. This is my segment on Black history. Thank you.